Hello, crafty peeps. Welcome back to my channel, Crafty-ish-kristyn. Today, we are going to have a whip and chatty rant. What is a whip and chatty rant, you may be asking yourself? WIP, W-I-P, stands for work in progress, and a chatty rant is me chatting and ranting about the goings-on in my life from the last week or so. I am still working on Vintage Reindeer Forest from Cecily Arts, and it is from Calming Canvas Designs. I am doing this for the Love for All Seasons diamond painting event. It is on Facebook. I will try really hard to list it down below. I may not remember, so if I don't and you want to see, ask. My brain's a little foggy still. I'm still battling a cold. Yeah, so if I clear my throat and sniffle the whole way through, I am sorry. But yeah, I'm trying. What else? I will put a picture of what this looks like up on the screen. I am about almost halfway-ish done. It's looking very, very nice. I was a little worried about this color in the snow, honestly, because it's a little flesh colored, as you can see. But it does not look flesh colored with everything else, if that makes sense. Excuse me. I have two new trays. I got some Bijou Bliss trays with the magnetic lids. Super, super cool. I love that. It does have a stopper. I don't really remember to use a stopper because I'm lazy. And this one I actually had custom made with these colors. I thought this was more teal in the description, but it is more of a navy blue. But I'm glad that I put it on the outside and the inside is pink because I can't see drills in dark trays. I don't know why. I just can't. What else? I have my little pen from Jim's Pen Shop on Etsy. I have my release papers from Lona's Designs on Etsy. I have a code in the description box as well. Oh man. And I will list all that stuff. And let me get zoomed in, and then we will get started. All right, let me pick a color and we will get started. I hope everybody is doing well, having a good day. I hope you're doing something fun and not something boring. But you know, if you are doing something boring, then hopefully I can keep you company. I'm already spilling my drills and I haven't even started. It's gonna be one of those days. Okay, I have got to move that down a little bit because I cannot see very well. Yes, I had such good intentions to make a video to go up during the Super Bowl, and that did not happen because I could barely talk. My throat was just so scratchy and my nose would not stop running, and I'm like, what is going on? So yeah, it was a bust. This is the first time I'm diamond painting in, I think, 3 days. It is currently Tuesday for me, and this should go up on Wednesday as long as, you know, YouTube edits nicely and stuff like that. Yeah, I know I don't feel good when I don't even want to craft. It's like I literally was just laying there on the couch and I'm like, why? But I did actually watch some of the Super Bowl, which shocking because I am not a sports person. But we watched, like, I don't know, 2 hours of Supermarket Sweep, right? And I've watched so much of the Supermarket Sweep channel that I'm starting to see episodes that I've already watched, right? And I'm like, oh, I know the answer to that already. I know who's going to win. I'm like, I remember that lady's hair because there is some epic hair going on in those 90s shows. Let me tell you, lots of hair gel in the men too. Lots of mullets on men and women, you know, no judgment there. Everybody has the right to, you know, their own hair. But man, it's like some of these people, they're like, yes, I'm 20 something years old. And I'm like, dude, you look so old. And I don't know if that's just like people looked older because of maybe like the makeup or just hard living. But I'm like, seriously, people, I don't know, they just looked a lot more haggard. I don't know, maybe they partied more. No idea. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm already off topic, but I have a special announcement. I guess it is kind of diamond painting relating, but kind of, sort of. I don't know. Like I said, this is going to be all over the place today, guys. I can already feel it. I did post a picture last week in my Facebook group of some goodies that I had gotten, and I posted there's a t-shirt, and I think it says I diamond paint because punching people is wrong or frowned upon, and my new trays and my new adorable little Coverminder. Seriously, is that just not the cutest? And it's got a massive magnet on it, which I appreciate because I lose the tiny magnets. This is from the Diamond Stitcher. She's also on Facebook. She's a YouTube channel and an Etsy shop occasionally. And she has the Diamond Art Club Fans Canada site. So definitely go check her out if you don't already. But I posted, and then I had a little like pile of something, and I had a little handwritten note, and it said secret item, and nobody commented on the secret item, guys. I'm like, what? Nobody commented, because I might have shown you guys if somebody would have commented, but nobody did. So I was like, well, so this is one thing, see, like I said, all over the place. This is what I like about this tray, right? Because I'm going to spill these. And so you literally just magnet the tray on, and you can just shake it, and like, well, you don't want to be too aggressive because then they come out of your bottle. But, ooh, that was a horrible sound. Sorry. I really like the trays. I really like the trays. Anyways, nobody commented on the secret item thing. And I was like, oh, well, geez. So I'm going to have to show you guys what the secret... Oh, I forgot I filled that one up really full. Oh, it's going to be one of those. It's going to be one of those. Hang on. Don't let me forget my train of thought. We're all over the place. Okay, here we go. I'm sure there's a few loose diamonds, but okay, I'm going to put a few more in there because there's a lot of this little line thingy. I don't put the tray stopper back in, but a lot of times I will just put my finger over the hole. Okay, for real. Quit picking up the pen. What are you doing? Oh my gosh. So I had a stack of something, and it said secret item. Nobody commented on the secret item because I'm nosy. And so if it would have been me, I'd have been like, what is the secret item? And shameless plug, if you haven't, please join my Facebook community group. We're a fun bunch over there. So anyways, okay, like I said, all over. I got something made that I get to share with you guys. I'm super, super excited. I got some stickers made. I was ridiculously excited for this, which doesn't take much sometimes, but I was thinking I would like to mail things to people, but what am I going to mail? And I thought, well, what if I can make a sticker from my little logo? Because stickers are flat and they would mail easily. And you can do international mailing and stuff for, like a flat postage stamp, because I Googled that. So I have 50 Pippy the Crafty Peep stickers. So I have created a Google Doc. I think I did it right. I did try sharing it with myself and have myself fill it out and then try to find the information in the Google Doc and all that stuff. And I think I did. So it should work. hopefully. So I will also list that down below. And if you would like your own Pippy the Crafty Peep sticker, fill out the little doc and I will get them mailed out. For right now, I have 50 printed, you know, because I was like, I don't want to print, you know, 1,000 stickers or whatever, and then literally have like, you know, 900 stickers left. So I started small. But if there is interest, then I can print more. But yeah, it's not going to be a fast process by any means. But I just thought it might be a good way to dip my toes into the water to mail things. Because without you guys, there would be no Pippy the Crafty Peep. So that was my semi-exciting stuff that I got before I started to feel like garbage last week. So yes, on the Google Doc, like all it's really asking is if, you know, like your name, so your address, you need to put it in exactly, like I'm talking exactly how you would need something to be mailed to you, especially if you're in another country, because I've never mailed anything out of the country, like not even an envelope. So just assume that I am stupid and you need to write it out exactly. And I write that in the Google Doc too. So I think all it asks really for is your name, you know, your YouTube name. I don't think that's required. It's just in case like your name and your YouTube handle are, you know, completely different, just so I have an idea of who I'm sending things to. Address, I think email address, and I'm not gonna like save your information or anything, guys. Like I have no reason to save anybody's information. It's just more in case like I have a problem and I try to mail it and it doesn't work, which, you know, is probably operator error on my part. Oh geez, police cars going by all crazy. Ugh, not what you want to see. Go past your house. But yeah, so that's exciting. And I do have it in the doc as well, but it's not going to come in some like super fun, colorful package. Because in our area, when you have something that is looking fun, like maybe it's a birthday card or, you know, something, that's the package or the envelope that's going to get slit open and somebody's going to try to steal the crap out of it. So it's going to be boring, which kills me inside because I want to make it colorful and fun. But if I actually want people to potentially get their stuff, then I need to make it look boring. So that is that. I have not finished any diamond paintings. I have three whips. This one, Layers of Ocean Magic, and then I have Trinity of Peace started, and they are all squares, and they are all, I mean, Trinity of Peace isn't really confetti-ish, but it's just all brown, so it's kind of sad to work on, honestly, so I got to space it out. And then I do have a round painting that I kitted up. I just haven't started it yet because I felt like garbage. So, yeah. I would like to have something finished by the end of the month. But, yeah, I don't know. We will see. Last weekend would have been perfect diamond painting time. And the stinking cold just sucked all the life right out of me. So that did not happen how I wanted it to. But that's okay. But I did watch some Super Bowl, guys. I did. And although I kind of don't really understand what's going on, I felt myself kind of get sucked into it because it was kind of stressful. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, oh, well, look, they did a point thing. And then, of course, you know, the halftime show, which I was like, well, I got to watch that, you know, but, and I don't know, maybe I'm just getting old, but I could not understand any of the music. Like, I couldn't understand what he was singing. I mean, I kind of recognize some of the songs because I'm, you know, I'm not super old, But yeah, no, I was like, and you know, I was kind of thinking to myself, I'm like, wow, it's actually kind of a family-friendly Super Bowl show. I mean, you know, kind of. Like, obviously, Usher's lyrics about, you know, getting down in the club probably aren't the most family-friendly, but since you couldn't understand what he was saying, you know, it was kind of okay. And yeah, then he stripped his shirt off, and I was like, well, yeah, that's not, you know, that's not the best. And then towards the end, after he was off the roller skates, then you saw the girls on the stripper poles, and I was like, nope, never mind. Can't just not have sex over everything, can we? You know, like, people wonder why more and more TV shows and more movies and everything has to have such, like, more and more graphic nudity and, like, sex and drugs. And it's like, that's because people have just become numb to the fact that, like, everybody's walking around half naked and it's totally acceptable. It's like, I don't really want to see girls dancing on stripper poles. Sorry. Like, if I wanted to see that, I'd go to the strip club. And I don't want to see that, so I'm never going to go to the strip club. Because I don't want to be throwing money at anyone. Nope, I'm good. But yes, we actually watched some Super Bowl. And I was so pleased that there was a Jason Momoa commercial, because he is my favorite. He is my favorite. If he asked me to run away with him, I would really have to consider it. Because, you know, I do love my family, but yeah. But every time a commercial came on, because this is how my brain works, because, you know, I'm just watching these commercials and I'm like, okay, that was a 30-second commercial, $7 million. Every time a 30-second commercial comes on, $7 million. I'm like, that is so much money. I just can't even grasp the concept of $7 million and the fact that companies are just, like, writing multiple checks for $7 million here and $7 million there is just balls to the wall crazy to me. Because in my brain, I'm like, okay, but think about, you know, how many, I don't know, I want to be like, all like, I'm not the most virtuous person, okay? I'm just going to say that. But, like, my brain goes, think of all the people that could help, right? I mean, like, our local area, we have quite a bit of low-income housing, and a lot of kids receive, you know, assistance for free lunches and breakfasts and all that. And not every school district applies for those federal grants. So I know several of our local schools didn't even apply, even though their enrollment numbers are so high with kids who actually would really benefit from that. And so my brain goes to, well, think about how many kids that could feed breakfast and lunch, you know? Like, yeah. But hey, let's, you know, have, you know, Beyonce be the queen of the world, and, you know, Ben Affleck, you know, selling donuts, and I don't even know what else, guys. I was not really fully paying attention, but yeah. So every time a commercial came on, I'm like, $7 million? $7 million? And they said it was up 200% cost-wise since in the last 20 years. So 20 years ago, it was, what did it say? It didn't say what it was 20 years ago, but it's up 200% in cost for a Super Bowl commercial. Like, I don't know. Is it worth it? I don't know, because I'm not a business. And I mean, I guess if it gets people talking about your products, but I mean, don't people actually have to buy your products in order for that to be, you know, a good worthwhile investment? I don't know. No idea. But you know what is a good investment? Is having a husband who can fix things. So huge shout out to the Crafty-ish husband, because he probably saved us $1,000 this week. We have, our house is older. It was built in the 60s. And I don't know if the bathroom upstairs has ever really been remodeled. Like, it's maybe has a new faucet or something, but the tub is the original pink, like, metal, not metal, but I don't think it's cast iron, but I don't know what it is. Tub. And the little, I can't think of what it's called. The handle thingy where you turn the water on. It's one of those where it's like down here and you have to turn it up and all the way around and around to get to hot. Pain in my butt. Hated it since we moved in, but we were, I mean, you know, we figured if we did stuff to the bathroom, then it would be like if you gave a mouse a cookie, and then you'd want to do more and more and more. So we never really partook in bathroom stuff, except for getting a new toilet, because the old toilet was the same pink as the bathtub, and it was a very inefficient flushing toilet. Let's put it that way. So this handle thing, right? It's always been stiff since we moved in. And it's been stiffer and stiffer, meaning you have to really wrench it harder and turn it further to just get the water on from the cold water. But then for the water to go to warmer, you have to turn it even more further and further and further and further and further and further over. Well, it hit its breaking point, and it's been I would say the last few months, but he said no, but yeah, it was. It's been very stiff, and so, you know, you have to turn it harder and harder every time you turn the water on, you turn the water off. And so it finally hit a breaking point, and my son was upstairs, and he's like, Mom? And I'm like, what? And he's like, you need to come in the bathroom. And at first I'm like, oh, I don't want to go in the bathroom. You know, teenage boy was just in the bathroom. I don't really want to go in the bathroom. And so he was trying to turn the water on, and he just kept turning the handle, and the water would kind of like go on, and then it would just kind of like turn itself off. And I was like, oh crap, that is not good. And since, you know, my husband, he works second shift, he wasn't home. And I'm like, just do your best, take a quick shower, and, you know, just make sure the water turns off. And so the next day, you know, I had to wake him up, and I'm like, the shower is not working properly. And he's like, what the hell did you people do to this? I was like, we did nothing, okay, first of all. And he's like, no, you guys have been turning it, and you've been ratcheting it. And I'm like, excuse me, but no, we have not. We have been using it at just the right amount of force that it needs to be used at. So he was trying to figure out what the heck was going on. He went to the hardware store, came back, didn't get the right thing. And he's like, the water won't turn off. And I'm like, what do you mean the water won't turn off? He's like, well, the water is just, it's directly connected to the, I don't know, this, whatever I don't know what the stupid thing's called, the faucet thingy. And he's like, so if I don't turn the water to the house off, we ain't going to have, it's just going to run. And I'm like, oh God. So we have a plumbing company that we've used for pretty much every plumbing thing in this stupid expensive house. I mean, we've spent, we probably spent like $70,000 on plumbing. I'm not even joking, with connecting to city water and having all the pipes redone and everything. And so I call them, and I'm like, hi. And they're like, oh, hi. You know, they know us by phone number. And they're like, well, you know, we don't really have anyone in the area, but because you're members, because they have like a membership thing, because we've spent enough money, we might as well be members. And they're like, we could probably get someone there this afternoon. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, we don't really, I mean, we have water, but if the water's turned off, you know, I'm trying to explain it. My husband's like, give me the phone. And so he takes the phone, and he's trying to explain it. And they're like, well, we'll get someone out there, you know, this afternoon. And then he's like, this is going to cost us a damn fortune. And I'm like, yeah, it is. And so then he's like, hang on. And so he goes back to the hardware store, buys some different, I don't know, faucety things, and takes all these different packages of parts and kind of like MacGyver's something, and he's like, okay, tell me if the water turns off. And so he goes under the house and he's like turning the water off and turning the water on, and he got it fixed. And I was like, oh my gosh, because I don't even know how much it would have cost, but just for them to walk in the door, you know, it would be probably at least $100. So that was amazing. So then, of course, I had to call back and been like, hi, yeah, we may not need someone, but I'm not sure, because he thinks he can fix it, but he doesn't know if he can really fix it. And so they were like, well, just keep you on, you know, the schedule. And if things change, then just call us as soon as possible. So I'm like, okay. And so about 20 minutes later, I called them back and they're like, hi, Kristen. And I'm like, it's fixed, it's fixed, it's fixed. And so we did not need to spend money on a plumber. Thank goodness. Because that is some priciness, man. Like, I mean, and they totally get you, because if you don't know how to do those things, I mean, you have no choice but to have somebody come out and do them for you. I mean, if my husband didn't know how to do it, we'd be paying. I mean, there have been things that we've had to pay for because, like, obviously he's not going to do a whole house, you know, repipe and get rid of a bunch of copper, you know, tubing, plumbing, tubing, whatever they call it. I don't know, pipes. Yeah. So that was exciting. I almost asked him if that meant I could spend some money on something fun, but I didn't, because the mood he was in was not the best, because he basically spent his whole morning doing plumbing stuff before he has to go to work. So yeah, but he got to go to work and tell everybody that he fixed the problem. Oops, those are stuck in there. Go in there, little friend. Okay. What color are we going to do next? Okay, let's see. I'm trying not to bump my head into the phone. I have it like really high, and I'm thinking it's probably not the best, but I can't do anything about it now. Oops, get that dryer sheet back in there. Get in there, friend. You go back. Let's see, what else has been going on? Oh, yes. Thank you, everybody who took the time to comment on my conversion, diamond painting conversion videos. Oh, that was a little piece of putty. Of course, I don't have tweezers. Why would I have tweezers out? That would be helpful. Yeah, I was glad that so many people were, you know, maybe learning something and can use it to help them plan out their own diamond painting conversion project. And that was my goal, was because, you know, people have questions, because it can be slightly overwhelming to try and figure out, you know, okay, how do I figure out the size of my canvas? Or if it's a really big one, do I need to buy the canvas in one size? Or, you know, should I divide it into, you know, 3 sizes? And a lot of it is personal preference, because some people might want to buy a canvas that's as big as a bed sheet, Jamie, and other people might want smaller canvases that are a little more, you know, manageable in size. Of course, if you buy a big canvas, you always can cut it up. And I actually did order a canvas from Evermoment, and I do want to try a few smaller conversion-y patterns that I got from the Stitch Patterns. And I figured I would try and cut up the Evermoment canvas into, you know, little bite-sized pieces that I could use for that. But yes, so I hope it answered any questions that people might have. Again, I am not an expert. I did not come up with this. I want to make that abundantly clear that I did not invent conversions. I am not an expert. I am a fan. And I am somebody who likes to make more work for myself, hence doing the conversions. When obviously I have enough diamond paintings that I really could just sit here and do regular diamond paintings and be totally fine. But no, nope, moving things around. Yes, so that was definitely a learning curve about how to film on a computer screen and then editing that and all that. So I hope it translated well. And again, if you have more questions, you can go to my Facebook group, the Crafty-ish community. Lots and lots of people on there who have done conversions, who have, you know, or recently have started one or finished one, or, you know, have several under their belt. Everybody's very nice and willing to answer questions if you have them. Because again, I might not know the answer to something, but someone else might. I will say that I did not realize that the canvases, what's the name of the company? Is it the Homfon? They are double-sided adhesive. I did not realize that. I didn't say that in my video, and I was like, of course I was showing that, and it's double-sided adhesive. Not there's anything wrong with double-sided adhesive, but if you're trying to get poured glue and you get double-sided adhesive, yeah, I can see where the frustration might lie. I have not even picked up my conversion since my last video. That was the video I was going to try to make this weekend, but this stupid nose dripping derailed that plan. So it'll get done eventually. So I am doing this one for, again, the Love for All Seasons. So you just have to pick a season and match your diamond painting to the season. And then next month in March, which I cannot believe it's almost March already, I'm going to do Mermaids and Magic. And I have my canvas. I just have not unboxed it. I'm hoping to do that this week. And then after that, I don't have anything planned. Honestly, if I don't finish this and I don't finish the Mermaids and Magic canvas, I'm going to have quite a few whips. So it might just be unless there's an event that's called like whip out your whips and whip it into shape, I may just be trying to work on some of the stuff that I already have started. So I don't have anything planned for April and May. So that could change, obviously. But as of right now, that is a tentative plan. And March is actually my birthday month, and it is my diamond painting anniversary month. So that's kind of exciting. Not that, you know, not that I do anything for my birthday, but still, every once in a while, like, I get kind of excited about my birthday, but most times I don't. Because it's just another day, you know? Okay, there we go. Like, I know I saw 2 of those. The shadows are Plan Tricks, and I have this giant smear on my glasses that I thought I cleaned off, but clearly I did not. Keeping it classy up in here, let me tell you. So my son, if you ever want to embarrass your kids, guys, like, this is the best thing to do, is to Google like slang the teens use. Because I Googled a bunch of, like, you know, what are the kids saying these days? Because I like to just mess with my kids. And I found a few things, right? And so I was trying to use them in a sentence, but I was using them incorrectly. Shocking. And my son's like, oh my God, just stop. And I'm like, what? And so he looked at my YouTube page, because he is subscribed. He doesn't watch my videos, but he's subscribed because, you know, got to get all those subbies. And he goes, oh my God, Mom. And I'm like, what? And he goes, you have over 800 subscribers. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, that's, you know, that's not that much in YouTube land, but yeah. And he goes, oh man, he goes, I could totally He goes, I'm going to totally use that against someone one day. And I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, well, if someone's like being all like braggy or something, I could be like, dude, my mom has more subscribers than you. And because I had just Googled the slang, and I said, oh, so you mean it's like a diss and a flex at the same time? And the horror on his face. And he goes, yeah. And I said, did I say that right? And he goes, yeah, you did. He goes, gah. Because, you know, I don't always get the slang right, guys, but I got it right. And I said, yeah. And I said, so, and then I tried to reiterate it, and he goes, no, don't say it again. You're just going to ruin it. And I was like, okay. So I was like, so I said it right though. And he's like, if you keep saying, did I say it right? Then it takes away from the fact that you said it right. And I was like, oh, like, dang it. So many rules. But yeah, so my kid can use my subscribers as a flex and a diss. I knew what a diss was, but I was like, flex is a good thing, right? Like, not like flexing your muscles. It's like kind of like a showing off kind of thing. And he's like, yeah. So yeah, definitely recommend it because it can come in handy sometimes. Although it said you're supposed to, the article that I read, it said you're supposed to like know what all these abbreviations are in case, you know, your kids are getting text messages with some of them. And I'm like, well, most of them are pretty innocent, but then there were some that, like, you know, were talked about, like, you know, like go harm yourself or something. And I'm like, well, nobody better sending you guys that kind of stuff. Seriously. Like, what is wrong with people? Don't be saying that kind of stuff. Okay. I am going to try to do my multi-placing. Hopefully I'm not completely out of shot. I did put a weight on my canvas, and I think it's helping it not slide around as much. These dark colors. I did not plan very well for this, because if I would have been planning, I would have saved some of more of the lighter colors to work on this on camera so I could actually see them. But because I haven't diamond painted in 3 days, I just literally grabbed the canvas that was on the easel, and I'm like, okay, just do it while I feel like semi-human before the nose faucet gets stuck and I have to call a plumber. Oh my gosh, I really hope you're not hearing my hair keep bumping into the phone. I mean, at this point I can't do anything about it, but still, I apologize if you hear weird muffling noises. So we had gone to the zoo, I guess it was 2 weeks ago. I like going to the zoo. I just wish there were no people there, you know? Like, it was just animals. And we could just roam around and see the animals without actually interacting with people. Because they're annoying. It wouldn't be so bad if people were courteous, but it's like all manners have just been completely taken out of our society. I mean, people just, you know, they let their kids run around, which I get it. It's the zoo. They're excited, you know, but when adults are practically running into you because they're not paying attention because they're so busy looking at their cell phones or, you know, trying to take a picture of the porcupine who's just sitting there, and it's like, okay, like, just could you not run into me, please? Because, like, I don't want to have to yell at you. And we were, and you know, like, no, I'm always like, should I say something? No. So here's the thing. I don't care if you have a nose ring, right? Like, if you have a nose ring, like, good for you. I never could have something dangling from my nose because it would drive me insane, and I would probably scratch it and it would rip out of my nose. There was this lady, and I've never well, I know I've probably seen something like it similar, but she had a nose ring and it had this like really dangly charm on it, okay? Now, the charm was like a, I don't know if it was like a lightning bolt or something, but it was really, really thin. And so when she turned her head, it looked like it was just beating the crap out of her face, right? But when she would turn her head and the light would shine on it, it looked like she had a giant glob of snot hanging out of her nose. And once I saw the nose ring, like I put two and two together and I was like, oh, but you know, when people are walking around the zoo and you kind of run into the same people over and over, every time I saw her, I thought she had a giant thing of snot coming out of her nose. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I can't. Like, because, you know, like, then I'm just going to start to giggle, and then my kids are like, what? And I'm like, nothing, because I don't want to draw attention to it, because then they'll stare. Yeah, so, I don't know. If you're going to have a nose ring and, like, maybe make your nose, the earring dangling, like, really, really obvious and not, like, weirdly dainty and looks like snot. I don't know. Because I couldn't have been the only person who kept, like, doing a double take. You know, but maybe people want attention. I have no idea. I don't want anyone to stare at me, guys. Like, I want to just blend in with the background and, you know, fade back there. And then we were in the play area, and there was this like burly looking guy, man. Like, I would not have messed with him because he was wearing like a sleeveless shirt, and he had these big old like muscles, and he had like, he was really tan and he had dreadlocks, and like, I mean, he looked like he could like wrestle a snake and like take down like a wild animal, but he had this giant knife strapped to his cargo pants, right? I mean, and this thing was like, I mean, it was like a big knife case thingy. I was like, really? Like, you know, I mean, I don't think he's going to go on a stabbing spree. He didn't look the type. But I'm just like, I'm surprised they let him come into the zoo with a giant weapon. But maybe, I don't know, maybe they don't think of knives as being weapons. I mean, my husband usually has a pocket knife, so, I mean, I guess it's kind of the same, but I don't know. It was just like, I was like, dang, dude. I'm like, if trouble hits, I'm going to stand by that guy, because he'll protect us all. He's waiting for his, like, action movie debut. Like, please, can I hide behind you, sir? Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, yeah, so we were at the zoo. And then, of course, you know, the conversation turns to animals, and the little bird area wasn't open. The kids were sad about that because they like to, you know, have us pay, you know, $3 for a popsicle stick with some bird food stuck to it, and then they can, you know, hand feed the birds or whatever. And it wasn't open. So we're in the car, and my daughter says, she goes, how big of a bird would there have to be for it to carry me away? And I'm like, I don't think there's a bird that can carry you away, because, you know, you're 8, so I don't think, I mean, I'm pretty sure. And she's like, well, we have a lot of eagles and falcons around us, right? And I'm like, well, yeah, kind of. And she's like, well, they could pick me up. And I'm like, no, not really. They could pick up, you know, like a small pet, but I don't think they could pick you up. But she was convinced, right, that there's got to be some bird out there. And my husband's like, well, there's probably some kind of like, you know, bird in the jungle or something, right? Because everything's big and deadly in the jungle. And he's like, I think there's some kind of like, whoa, that just almost stabbed me in the eye. Thank you. Some kind of like harpy or something, which I thought that was a fake word, honestly. But apparently it is an actual type of bird. Go figure. He goes, I think there's like a harpy or something that can pick you up. And she's like, see, I told you. And I'm like, well, I don't know. I've never been to the jungle, and I've never seen a giant bird that can pick up people. And she's like, well, I'm pretty fast, so I don't know if it could get me. She goes, but I'm pretty sure it could pick you up, Mom. And I'm like, why me? And she's like, well, because, you know, you're kind of slow and you're kind of sad looking. And I'm like, excuse me? I'm sad looking? She's like, well, not in a bad way. And I'm like, how am I supposed to take that in a good way? Like, you need to be getting on the backpedaling train, because seriously. I mean, couldn't even really be mad, because it was kind of funny, but I'm like, I don't think a giant bird can pick me up. Maybe like, you know, I don't know, but a dinosaur bird, but nothing around here is going to be able to swoop down and pick me up, I promise. So I think she was kind of bummed about that, honestly, though. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, and then a quick update. My mom, we had spoken previously. She had, you know, had to go in for tests at the hospital for breathing and heart, you know, all that jazz. And so we finally went for our appointment to meet with the doctor to talk about, you know, all the stuff. And I was so frustrated because the only appointment I could get was at 4:20. And I'm like, you want me to go to the hospital at 4:20 in the afternoon? Like, it's right next to, you know, a main, what do you call it? Freeway, like interpass, interchange. Like, that's going to be awful. So we did it. And they're like, no, her, you know, her heart's good. You know, her lungs aren't the best, but that's because, you know, when you smoke, you sacrifice lung capacity. And, you know, obviously it's, whoa, I'm sorry. I keep bumping the camera. You know, I mean, and it's gotten better, I think, since she's stopped smoking, obviously, but, you know, you can't rebuild everything. And he's like, well, I really think you would benefit from going to this class. And he had kind of mentioned this class before, and he made it sound like it's an exercise class. Well, it's not really exercise. It's like breathing exercises. So they teach you how to breathe better. And she's like, yeah. And he's like, well, before you say no, because, you know, I'm sure they can tell when people are like, I don't want to do that crap. He's like trying to, you know, sell her on it, right? Like, you know, you can meet some new people, which, like, she's like, I don't want to meet new people. And, you know, you can learn how you can breathe more efficiently, which would be good, you know, if you're getting short of breath, to learn how to, you know, if you're getting faint or whatever, to how to, you know, breathe your way out of the situation, and to do some exercises. And I'm like, okay, that, you know, that doesn't sound bad. And he's like, you know, it's a 3-hour class. And I'm like, 3 hours? What the hell are they doing in this class? Well, they have some, you know, instruction time, and then there's some breaks, and then they do some, you know, learning. And I just see my mom's eyes like bulge, like, absolutely not. And so I said, because, you know, I'm the sarcastic ray of sunshine, and I said, so where is this magical class located? Oh, it's here at the hospital. And I said, and where are people supposed to park for this magical class? Well, in the parking lot, obviously. And I said, and how is she going to get to the building that this class is in? And as I said, well, what time of day is it at? And he said, oh, it's at 11. And I said, there's no parking in any of your parking garages or any of your parking lots at 11. And he goes, well, we have handicap parking. Haven't you seen it? And I said, oh, I've seen it. But every time I see it, it's full of cars. So, you know, I mean, obviously I can drive her and I could drop her off. But I'm like, but how are people who don't have somebody able to do that? How are they supposed to go to this class? How are they supposed to park? Because there's no parking. And he goes, well, I've been out there and I've seen parking. And I'm like, I don't know what time of day you go out there, but I was like, I'm like, I've been here at multiple different times of the day, and I have never been able to find a handicapped parking spot out here. I said, I did see one today after I parked my car in the parking garage that was way over there, and I was walking back to this building to get in here so I could take my mom in here. I did see an empty handicap spot, and I said, but I didn't want to go and try to grab my car and move my car, because then, you know, if it was full, then I would have wasted my time. And I also like, I can't do that because my brain won't let me actually take a handicapped spot from somebody who's handicapped. Like, no, I can't do that. But he was like the way he looked at me, like I was just incredulous. Like, what do you mean there's no parking? And it's like, dude, you have a freaking like doctor, like special, like marked spot. You don't ever have to look for parking. So don't be pulling that crap. But he did say that there was a online class that she could take. And she's like, well, I would rather do the online one. And he's like, well, I don't really recommend that you try that one first, you know, because I do feel like you would like it. And I felt like saying, you don't know my mom at all. She does not want to go hang out with a bunch of potentially like, you know, sick old people and like listen to them, you know, complain about this ailment or that ailment. She's going to be like, we're here to learn to breathe. Let's breathe and let's get the hell out of here. So, yeah, no. So then the hospital calls and, you know, they're like, oh, hi, you know, we're just following up to see if you want to get on the schedule for the, you know, for the class. And my mom's like, yeah, no, I'd rather do the online one. And she goes, oh, we don't have an online class. And she's like, well, the doctor said you did. And she goes, oh, I mean, I think they have some available somewhere, but we don't offer one. I'm like, figures. I was like, well, we'll figure that out later. I'm not doing that right now. And then I was starting to feel sick, and I'm like, I wonder if I got sick from the doctor's office. I just thought of that. I totally forgot about that. I wonder if it was going to the hospital. Because then the next day is when my throat started to feel sore, and then the next day is when my nose started to run. That stupid hospital. I even wore a mask because I don't want any of those people's germs. Nope. All right, we are going to wrap this up because I don't think I can not clear my throat for much longer. But I hope everybody has been able to get something done while I've been flapping my gums. Very much appreciate the company, guys. Check out the Google Doc. If there is a problem with the Google Doc, please let me know. I don't know if I can actually fix it. I may just have to create a new one. Again, I've never made a document before to share with others and to have people fill things out. So it's another new thing that I have never done. But yeah, we'll get that all listed and posted. And I will also put a link to the, excuse me, to the doc in my Facebook group as well. And I think that's it, guys. I think I'm all talked out. Well, I mean, I'm never all talked out, but if I want to be able to talk later and annoy my children, I should probably stop talking. So that is going to be it. I got a little bit done. On my canvas. Hopefully you could see if you wanted to see. If not, you just, you know, listen to the soothing sounds of my voice. No one's ever said my voice is soothing. Yeah, no. And that is all. I'm sure there's something else I forgot that I just can't think of that I will think of when I turn the camera off. But you know what? That is a later Kristen problem, not a right now Kristen problem. So until next time, big awkward hugs. Bye, guys.